Okay, and one little cave-in on the wall over here, but it's not going to make any difference because all that's got to be trimmed down. This was step 1 in my Thanksgiving pie Piecaken. That is the pecan pie that should be the bottom layer. So, gotta let this cool. Then I have to release it from its pan. It goes in the fridge. And then we make a pumpkin pie. Doing the same thing where the pie things are up and down. So we used a springform pan. That looks delicious. Okay, we have a 10-inch pumpkin pie in my springform pan. We are going to have to let that cool for a while before we can release it. And this one leaked just a little bit. Not much. Not compared to the pecan pie one leaked a lot more. I'm going to have to figure out a way to line when I do the cake. Because I need the cake to be 10 inches. So I have to use the springform pan. But the springform pan really, really leaks. So, and there's no crust on the cake. Okay, this is the cinnamon buttercream recipe that I found. It's 1 cup of butter, room temperature, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We're going to put in half this bag. We're gonna mix this up. Then we're going to add cinnamon. Teaspoon of cinnamon. Then it's 4 cups or 1 pound on a scale of powdered sugar, which is half this bag. And you sift that. And then 30 seconds on low. Scrape the bowl. And then medium. It says medium 30 to 45 seconds. But I've seen people talk about like 4 minutes. So I'll see what it looks like. And then you taste it for the vanilla and cinnamon to make sure that it's how you want it. If you need to, you can add 1 or 2 tablespoons of milk or cream. The only milk I have is, what is it, oat milk? Almond, I think it's almond milk. But I do have a container of cream because the original recipe I found you needed heavy cream for one of these things. I don't even know which pie. So we haven't used it. So I might use that in here. I'm kind of letting the butter get a little bit warmer before I start beating it. The little mixer ready to go. And we're going to make cinnamon buttercream. Yikes! Okay, I whipped together the vanilla and the butter. I added the cinnamon. Now it's time to start adding my powdered sugar. That is how much powdered sugar. There is my sieve. I'm going to do this gradually because I know it's going to make all over the place. So what I read this morning is there's more than 1 kind of powdered sugar, and it all depends on how fine it is. So there's 10 times, there's 5 times, I don't know if there's any others, but they said you want 10 times, and it should say on the package. Well, this is like, I don't know, Aldi powdered sugar. It doesn't say anything. As I get down to the bottom of this, we're going to discover this is probably 1 times. Not even 5. Look at all the grains I've got. It's still falling through. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm just kind of hand mixing this in to start with, and then we'll do the whipping part. The official taste testers have arrived. I keep trying to tell them they have to wait until it's done before they can have it. They don't understand. Okay, making progress. It's getting thicker. Okay, now it needs to be whipped for, what does it say? 30 to 45 seconds on medium. This is where we're at. It tastes very cinnamon sugary. It's very, very good. There's not a ton there. Maybe the next whip will make more. And I have the milk out just in case. But it's really thick. Mm-hmm. You need to test it? Okay. Okay, that's our whipped up bowl. I think it's okay. I will test. Okay, here's where things start to get scary. I need this tin in order to cook the spice cake, which means I have to get the pumpkin pie out of here, and I don't know where to put it. So I made the buttercream so that we could frost the pecan, put the pumpkin on top of it, frost that, and stick them back in the fridge so that they can set while the spice cake cooks and cools. It is 7:45 on Thanksgiving morning, so I think we have plenty of time. I was going to leave this edge, it's kind of higher than the pie, to like catch the buttercream, but I think I have to get rid of it. I'm not going to have enough buttercream. This is half. All I have is half. I mean, all I have is enough to make one more batch of that. So I don't think I have enough, so I'm going to have to trim the crusts. Okay, I used the biggest knife I could find to kind of level that off a little bit more. The dogs enjoyed the crust. It is very good. I still have to do that on that one. I put a dollop of buttercream underneath this and kind of just pushed it down so that now as I decorate, it's going to stay still. There is a plastic liner here that I taped to the Lazy Susan with just some pieces of cellophane. Sellotape. Cellophane. Jeez. So I have some crumbs here from... Excuse me. Okay, so now I'm going to frost this lightly, like a crumb coat, and then I'm going to put the pumpkin pie is going to come out of its tin. I will fix the crust and put that on top. It is very weird in my head to frost a pecan pie. Here we go. Okay, no going back now. Okay, I'm going to put that in the fridge while I work on the pumpkin pie. Okay, the sides popped off perfectly, and it's not even stuck to the bottom like the pecan pie was. The pecan pie had to run through with a knife. This one's going to come right off. I need to get this crust off first, and then I'll bring the pecan bag out, and we'll put this on top. Okay, a few crumbs there on top. Not worried about it. There's what hasn't been eaten yet. They're still here to collect. Now to get the pumpkin pie on top of the pecan pie. And I might do a little more frosting in between. I think these both have a little bit of a lean. Like this side looks higher than this side. And it's fairly flat. I want to try and put whatever I think is the flattest side, which I think is over here, against the tallest side of this. And then hopefully that'll even them out. We are on our way. All right, I'm going to use buttercream on that. Then I'm going to wash the springform pan and get the spice cake in the oven. Okay, a few things. Number one, that took all of my frosting from my first batch. So these are 10-inch pies, and that would probably be why it went so quickly. But I have those crumb coated. I will make another batch of frosting. I think the pumpkin pie is slightly off center. The other thing was, and I didn't think about this, there was a layer of moisture on top of that pumpkin pie. So the frosting did not want to stick. Hopefully, it's not going to mess anything up on that layer, that wetness was there. Hopefully, I didn't just screw up royally. But so you know, you might want to try and get the water off the top of the pumpkin pie. Okay, going to mix the spice cake together, and I forgot to show you my recipe for the spice cake. Look, I made the pecan pie and the pumpkin pie and the buttercream. Don't judge me. All right, I need a 10-inch cake. Yes, the oven just finished. Perfect timing. This springform pan leaks. We know this. This was my solution. I lined it with tin foil as flat as I could. And covered in cooking spray. God, I hope this works. There's our mix. So dump that in there and pop it in the oven for like 30 minutes or so. Okay, this needs to cool. All right, it's almost noon. I cut the top off the cake so it would be flat. There we go. Made my other thing of frosting. Okay, it's very rustic, and it has to stay very rustic, because that's all the frosting I have left, and I still have to pipe blobs so that the apple pie filling stays in the center. So it's going to be rustic. I probably should have filmed more of that, but instead I just did it. All right, every cake has a back. There's the back. I cannot get that part to fill in no matter what I do. That's the pecan pie, and I hope it's not bulging. But I used the only piping tip I could find, and I made blobs. And then right before we serve it, we're going to fill that top crater with apple pie filling. Oh, Karen wants to fill the top crater with apple pie filling. Okay, we'll let Karen do that. And there it is. Piecaken. See you when we cut it. All right, I almost just dropped my phone in the cake. All right, let's see what this looks like. Get down. Oh, I just hit crust. I need 2 hands. I just hit crust.
Babe, can you help her?
Here, come here, hold this. Film this.
But you want to see it from this side.
Karen, shut it. I hear the planes. It's just because there's crust. You know, I'm gonna go bigger and then we
Yeah, I was
can
gonna say,
cut
why don't you do it that way?
smaller.
Yeah.
It's the
She's
crust.
got the axe stick.
So is that what you steal that from axe throwing?
A little bit, just a little. All right, here we go.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, smooth.
Moment of truth.
Look at that!
Whoa!
Oh my God! It's perfect. Get down.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Holy cow!
Good job. Let me
Take a
see.
photo with your finger there.
Yeah.
That one?
Yep.
Well, help if I centered it. Wow.
Turn it
Okay.
this way for a sec. Aw, good job, James.